Hello children, welcome to my channel Learn with Love. In this class we are going to learn all about verbs. Verb is one of the 8 parts of speech. Do you know what the 8 parts of speech are? If you don't, you must check my previous video on parts of speech. Because parts of speech is the basic of English grammar and it is very important to be thorough with it. I have left the links for parts of speech in the description box. Check it out if you haven't. You can also find the link to your free worksheet in the description. Come, let's learn verbs with love. As we already learnt in the previous class, a verb is an action word like run, jump, stand, sit. All these are action words. It also describes a state like think, feel. Today, let's discuss this in detail. Of the 8 parts of speech, verbs are the most important because a sentence can never be complete without a verb. All sentences must and will contain a verb. The second importance of verb is that it shows the time in which the action took place. It tells us whether the action is completed or is going on or if it would take place in the future. So, how does it do that? How does a verb show time? See children, for that, the verb takes different forms. Taking different forms helps it to show the time. These forms are called tenses. For example, play, played, played. Walk, walked, walked. Run, ran, run. Sing, sang, sung. These are the past and past participle forms of the verbs. Like this, all the verbs in the English language have past and past participle forms. Memorizing these forms are very important to speak grammatically correct English. Memorizing these are also an absolute must to understand our next lesson on tenses effectively. Of course, it is not possible to memorize the past and past participle form of all the verbs, but you could memorize at least for a few common verbs, right? So in the description box, I have left a link for the same. Download it and memorize at least 10 a day. Remember children, it is very, very important. Now you see, in the first set of these words, play and walk here, you can form the past tense and past participle simply by adding ed to the verb. Such verbs for which the past and past participle forms can be formed simply by adding ed to the verb are called regular verbs. But some words are different. Their past and past participle forms cannot be formed just by adding ed. Like in these verbs, for example, run, ran, run, sing, sang, sung. These verbs are called irregular verbs. So remember, if you can form past and past participle by adding ed, they are regular verbs. And if you can't, then they are irregular verbs. As we discussed earlier, a verb is an action word. Run, study, eat, sing, swim, paint, cry, fight, argue. All these are action words. And note that all these are physical actions. But as I said earlier, a verb not only describes an action but also a state. Look at these words for example. Doubt, like, fear, understand, belong. All these are not actions, but they are clearly verbs and show tense. These types of verbs are called state verbs. Let's take a look at an example. I have a computer. What is the verb here? Have. But it is not a visible physical action. It is a state verb. You see children, an action verb will have a beginning and an end. For example, playing. At some point you will begin playing and at some point you will end it. But it is not the same with state verbs. I like you. Here, like does not have a definite beginning and an ending point. Okay, now you know the difference between an action verb and a state verb. Action verb shows physical action. It has a beginning and an end. But state verbs are not physical actions. They may be a condition or a state like know, love, hear. All these are state verbs. Now I'll tell you why it is important to know the difference between an action verb and state verb. You see children, a state verb never takes ing form. Look at this example. I am playing football. Here the verb play is an action word. So it can take an ing form. It is correct. But look at this one. I am having a computer. Here the verb is have. It is not an action verb because have is not a physical action. So have is a state verb and state verbs should never take ing form. So this is wrong. The correct sentence is I have a computer. Children sometimes make the mistake of saying I am having 2 pencils. Is it correct? No. How should we say that? I have 2 pencils. Look at this one. I am understanding you. It's wrong. How should we say that? We should say I understand you. Very good. Now verbs are divided into 2 types. Main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs means helping verbs. Main verbs are those that can function alone in a sentence. They don't help any verbs. For example, dance, run, sleep. Even if you can't understand this concept right now, don't worry. Continue watching. You will understand in a minute. Look at the following examples. I ran 100 miles. What is the verb in this sentence? Ran. I went to a garden. Went. I saw a movie. Saw. Here, ran, went and saw are main verbs because they function alone in a sentence. Now auxiliary verbs, as I said already, auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. From the name itself we can understand what it is. These are verbs that help the main verbs in a sentence. So they are am, is, was, are, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, did, done, have, has, had. Look at the following example. I was running. Here, what is the action being done? Running. So that's the main verb. But when did it happen? Now or before, or is it going to happen tomorrow? It already happened. How do we know? Because the word was is used. We use was only to refer to the past. So the word was helps the verb running to show the tense. That's what helping verbs do. They help the main verbs to show tense in a sentence. Now do you understand? Let's take a look at another example. I will go to a movie. Here go is the main verb. Will is the helping verb which helps the main verb show that the action of watching the movie will happen in the future. I may skate. Here skate is the main verb and the helping verb may helps to show that the action of skating may possibly happen in the future. Now, before we move on to learning the types of auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, let's memorize these helping verbs. We can learn it like a rhyme just by repeating it a few times in an order. This was actually taught to us by our teacher educator Mrs. Pandiselvi. Look at the helping verbs and repeat after me loudly. Open your mouth, don't be shy. Say aloud. Am, is, was, are, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, did, done, have, has, had. Let's repeat that one more time. Am, is, was, are, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, did, done, have, has, had. One more time. Am, is, was, are, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, did, done, have, has, had. Are you bored? You are it, right? Shall we do that one more time? Very good. Am, is, was, are, were, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, did, done, have, has, had. So children, now you must have somewhat learnt it. It is so easy to memorize, and once you do, you will remember it lifelong like the alphabets. So please go that extra mile, write it down and try to memorize it. It will be very, very useful for you. Auxiliary verbs or helping verbs is further divided into two types: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Now this is very easy. You see, we know that helping verbs are those which help a main verb. But some of the helping verbs can also stand alone in a sentence. Sometimes these stand alone and sometimes they also help another verb. They can do both. And these verbs are called primary auxiliaries. The primary auxiliary verbs are am, is, was, are, were, do, did, done, have, has and had. But modal auxiliaries cannot do that. They can never function independently in a sentence. They can be used only with the main verb. So the modal auxiliaries are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might and must. Let's look at some examples. The first one is I am a teacher. In this sentence, the only verb is am. And here am is not helping any other verb. Here the verb am is functioning as a full verb. But in the second sentence I am playing, the main verb is playing. The word am here is functioning as a helping verb. It helps to show that the action is done in the present. So you see, this verb am can function both as a main verb and as a helping verb. Verbs like these that can do both are called primary auxiliary verbs. But in this sentence, I will see you soon, the helping verb will helps the main verb meet to show that the action is going to happen in the future. But the verb will can never function without a main verb in a sentence. These are called modal auxiliaries. They always appear with a main verb. Their purpose is to help the main verb. It can never stand alone. Another example is we should study every day. Here should is the modal auxiliary and study is the main verb. I have some questions for you here. Pause the video. Think what the main and helping verbs would be. Then resume the video and check your answers. So the first one is you should help your mother. Here the verbs are should, help. Help is the main verb and should is the helping verb. I could have drawn it. Here, could have drawn are helping verbs. Drawn is the main verb. Both could and have are helping verbs. The kids have collected their uniform. Have collected are the verbs. Collected is the main verb. Have is the helping verb. The bus has come. Has come are verbs. Come is the main verb. Has is the helping verb. Have you seen my glasses? So here have and seen are verbs. Seen is the main verb. Have is the helping verb. Did you send the email yesterday? Send is the main verb and did is the helping verb. As you can see from the last two questions, while framing questions, especially while framing yes or no questions, that means the questions which would probably have an yes or no as an answer, auxiliary verbs always come at the beginning of a sentence. Sometimes children struggle to frame questions. So if someone wants to ask me if I am a teacher, they would come to me and just say the statement, you are a teacher, and add an "are" to it. They would go like, you are a teacher, ah? So the trick to asking the question properly is to put the helping verb first. Are you a teacher? While speaking, practice asking questions in the right way. Remember, only practice makes perfect. We have come to the end of the class. I hope you understood verbs, its types and its uses. Children, these are the basics, and if you are clear with these from the beginning, it's going to get so much easier for you when you go to higher classes. Otherwise, it's going to be like learning to multiply without knowing the tables, and it's kinda impossible. So if you haven't understood any part of this video, please go back to it, listen again and try to understand it. If you have any doubts, leave them in the comment section. I'll answer them for you. Also download the list of irregular verb forms which I have given in a link below. Memorize it little by little. Remember, we cannot learn grammar just by taking a class. We have to put in a lot of effort and practice a lot. So download the worksheets and test your understanding. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next class. Love you all. Bye bye.